Hey everyone! Alright, so what we have here is your notes. This is geometry notes. We're going to get set. We're going to talk about this theorem, 8-2. This is the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. Then we're going to finish going over the rest of the notes, and then you can actually finish your homework. And your homework is due, I'm double checking to make sure I made it due on Tuesday. I made it due on Tuesday. So your homework's due Tuesday. Alright, let's go ahead and jump in. Slideshow present from right now. There we go. Bam. All right, let's go. Here we have your converse, and basically what the converse does is, if you remember, it just flips it around. So instead of having a squared ABC is a right triangle, we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared first. So basically what I'm saying is, all right, if you're given the side lengths and it works out with that formula, then it's a right triangle. So I'm not telling you it's a triangle, you're telling me it's a triangle. So here I have the examples. Let's go ahead and get a pin, pointer options, pin, and then let's go ahead and do this. So the triangle has side lengths of 85, 84, and 13 is the triangle right triangle. So in this case, they're not put in order from least to greatest, and we need them to be. So we're going to say 13, 84, and 85. So we're checking, is that matching this equation, a squared plus b squared? Sorry, I'm writing with my finger. I know that doesn't look like a squared. I'm sorry. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in. We have 13 squared plus 84 squared equals 85 squared. So if this comes out to be true, then it's a right triangle. So I am grabbing my handy dandy calculator and I'm doing 13 times 13, which is 169, plus 84 squared. 84 times 84 is 7,056. And we're saying if that's equal to 85 squared, which is 85 times 85, which is 7225. So I need to see if that comes out to be true. All right, so I've got 169 plus 7056 is 7225. So we said 7,225 is equal to 7,225. So is this a triangle? Is this a right triangle? Yes. Because it satisfies a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So it works. Sweet. The next one, similar idea, except they're not in order. So A goes with 8, B goes with 10, and C goes with 15. So I have 8 squared plus 10 squared equals 15 squared. 8 squared is 64, 10 squared is 100, and 15 squared is 225. 64 plus 100 is 164. 164 definitely does not equal 225. So this is not a right triangle. No, it doesn't satisfy a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So no, it doesn't work. All right, those are those two. And then I have these two questions for you. If you would please work on these as a group, as a table, and then come together and we'll figure it out from there. So if you would please pause the video. All right, so hopefully you've had a chance to talk about it. If you haven't, pause the video. So we're going to go ahead and talk about these. It says a triangle has side length 16, 48, and 50 is a triangle right triangle. Explain. So we're going to plug those in. So we have 16 squared plus 48 squared equals 50 squared. Let's see if it works. So I have 16 squared, which is 256. 48 squared is 2,304, and then 50 squared is 2,500, and 2,304 plus 256 equals 2,560. Did I do that right? Yep. So does 2,560 equal 2500, and no, it doesn't. So, no, it doesn't satisfy a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The last question talks about something I want to talk to you guys in the class. However, we've talked about it so many times. It says once you know what length represents the hypotenuse, doesn't matter which length you substitute for A and which length you substitute for B. Explain. And we've already talked about this in class multiple times. Every single class period, you guys have been bringing it up. No, you can flip-flop them. It doesn't matter which one it is. As long as you have your hypotenuse, it doesn't matter which one you do for the other one. So there's that. Jumping to the next. Theorem A-3 and Theorem A-4 talk about if you have an obtuse or if you have a acute triangle. So essentially, obtuse, your hypotenuse is greater than a squared plus b squared, the hypotenuse squared, excuse me. And then for acute, your hypotenuse is less than. So again, less than a squared plus b squared. So we have a few examples. This says a triangle has side lengths 6, 11, and 14. Is it acute, obtuse, or right? So this is where the order matters, A, B, and C. So you're going to plug those in to see if it works. So you have 6 squared plus 11 squared. And we're going to essentially then compare it to, and that's why I have a huge circle there, is because I'm going to fill it in with whatever fits. So 6 squared is 36. 11 squared is 121. And 14 squared, I don't know off the top of my head, 196. So a little bit more work. 36 plus 121 is 157. And 157 comparing to 196, less than, greater than, or equal to, well, 157 is less than. That means my hypotenuse, remember my hypotenuse was bigger than the other ones. So if the hypotenuse is bigger, you're going to go back and check. Okay, well that says the hypotenuse is less than, so it can't be that. The one before that says the hypotenuse is greater than, so that means must be this triangle is obtuse. Then the last one says a triangle has side lengths 13, 84, and 85. Is it acute, obtuse, or right? So again, same thing. 13 squared plus 84 squared. And 85 squared. 13 squared is 169. 84 squared, 7,056. And then 85 squared is 7,225. 169 plus 7,056 gives me 7,225, which is equal to 7,225. So if it's equal to, that goes back to the first theorem that we talked about. That means it is a right triangle. All right. Sweet. Now we're jumping on to the got it. So now you're going to check this with your table. So if you would please go ahead and pause the video, and then we'll talk about this here in a few seconds. All right, so here we are. We're going to jump in. I've got 7 squared plus 8 squared, and I'm going to compare it to 9 squared. I kind of switched between the circle and the box. Really, you can put whatever you want there. You can put a triangle, as long as you know that you're going to be filling in that with something. 7 squared is 49. I had a brain freeze. 8 squared is 64. Then 9 squared is 81. 49 and 64 is 103. And 103 is bigger than 81. That means your hypotenuse, remember, your hypotenuse is smaller. Your hypotenuse is the last part is smaller. If your hypotenuse is smaller, then it's acute. Look at the acute triangle. You're so acute. There we go. That's it. All right, well, hey, it's been wonderful teaching you today. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Use the rest of the time to work on this. It's due, I said it earlier, Tuesday. It's due Tuesday, so no excuses. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.